Tory deputy chairman, well, he's shaken things up a bit. He's sort of hit the media with a bang. He says he would support return of the death penalty. Ashfield MP Lee Anderson was handed the senior government position during the Prime Minister's reshuffle earlier this week. In an interview with The Spectator magazine, Mr Anderson said, "Nobody has ever committed a crime after being executed. You know that, don't you? 100% success rate." Well, to the point. That is Lee Anderson's style. Still with me is my political panel, political commentator Emma Webb, and former Labour MP and Minister for Europe, Denis MacShane. Is he straight talking? He just represents the view of some people in this fine country.
You know, it is absolutely true that when you hang somebody, that person doesn't commit a crime. But also, when you hang an innocent man or woman, mainly men, which we've done quite a lot, that person can't come back and get his life back. And again, 1974, there I am, a little baby reporter for the BBC in Birmingham. IRA pub bombing, 21 killed, 84 injured. The cops hauled the first 6 Irishmen they could find off the ferry boat train, fitted them up, and the judge said, "I'm so sorry, capital punishment has been abolished because I can't sentence you to death." 15 years later, they were all utterly clear, they were utterly innocent, all got the Queen's pardon. And that is the mark of a civilised country. And I was very struck today, we're talking a lot about social media. Isabel Oakeshott, who perhaps stars now then on GB News, I'm not sure which are her outings for her, very...
She doesn't.
Very, very Brexit and Tory and right-wing views. She's
How ghastly, Dennis!
Frothing, no, she's frothing with outrage, saying, are we a civilised country or aren't we? And I think this man, Lee Anderson, I mean, he came across when Boris Johnson was handing out peerages and serdoms and Tory seats, you know, to shore up his position. He's a good, solid Nottinghamshire miner. I know those friends of mine. They're friends of mine. And, you know, bring back hanging, bring back the rope, bring back flogging. But I think Mr Sunak, you know, who's a very dainty little sort of Goldman Sachs banker, very weak, wobbly, no connection to the British people. I think the majority of people, certainly where I live in Westminster, it's a Tory seat, Nikki Aiken, nice woman, she's come out supporting this man. She's going to lose so many votes with the middle-class bankers, accountants, lawyers, think tankers, civil servants in Westminster.
Presumably, Rishi Sunak thinks this is a good way of having something for everyone. He's, you know, very different from Lee Anderson. He can appeal to one type of Tory, and Lee Anderson can appeal to another type of Tory. Job done.
I think that this appointment is a really smart move from Rishi Sunak, and so long as it goes well, it's probably their only chance of doing reasonably well in the Red Wall, because Lee Anderson is very popular with that demographic for obvious reasons. And now I absolutely adore Lee Anderson. I think that he's wonderful. I agree with him on most things.
Go on, what does it for you?
I do not agree with him on the death penalty, though, for the same reasons as you just described. I don't think that you can ever really be fully sure enough to sentence somebody to death, although he has made the point that in the case of, say, someone like the murder of Lee Rigby, that if something is caught on camera, you can be absolutely sure. But for me, it's more that I don't think that the state should ever have the right to be able to execute
we already do at
someone.
battle.
That's true, but I think the ethics of war are a very different thing to punishment in a domestic sense. But I think there are so many things that I agree fundamentally with Lee Anderson on. I think that he really understands the working classes, which is my own background. I think that his comments recently also to do with net zero and people being fed up of that, and I think that's something you're seeing across the world, increasing discontent with the way that net zero policies are actually affecting people's daily lives, particularly when everybody is really feeling a squeeze right now. So I think Lee Anderson is really a man of the people. He understands the base in the Red Wall, the people who famously lent the Conservatives their vote in 2019, in a way that the rest of the leadership of the party just simply don't understand. So I think it's a fantastic appointment, even if I don't agree with him on the death penalty. But we shouldn't demonise people in the way that I think he has been, when people calling him 30p Lee and things like that. I think a lot of that is actually just old-fashioned snobbery.
Oh, there's so much snobbery